All right, let's talk Apple iPhone 17 Pro Max after a solid weekend of use, a good 3 days using this device. And I think people are focusing on a lot of the wrong things with this particular phone because trust me, there's plenty of problems with this device that we'll talk about, but certainly not the ones people are focusing on. The big one, design. I happen to like the design. You're either going to like it or you're going to hate it. Apple had to do something. It couldn't come out looking the same way again for the 7th consecutive year. So Apple had to do something with the design. I don't mind it. I think it looks nice. You put the case on it, it looks pretty good. I like the fact that we actually got a color on the Pro Max models. That's really nice. The aluminum, people talking about scratching and digging and that. Look, Apple's been using anodized aluminum on its products for 20 years. I mean, iPods, iPad, put a case on it. There was problems with the titanium, there was problems with the stainless steel. Any sort of metal that you build a phone out of is going to have some sort of weakness that's going to show. So I'm really not worried about that at all with it. I do overall like the design. And Daniel Bader actually brought up a great point on the Android Police podcast that we were doing together, saying that he thinks that the more industrial looking metallic aluminum design on the Pro is an effort to kind of differentiate the iPhones into a Pro category that's going to match kind of the MacBook Pros and that kind of aesthetic. And then you're going to have the Air and the regular iPhone be kind of that consumer breakdown. And if Apple actually did that, it would give me some encouragement about the company because that's what they did 20-something years ago, 25, 26 years ago, when they were splitting out the product line to make it a little bit more, have it make more sense which product you were actually buying. Display, really nice. Apple displays, never going to have a problem with it. Just an overall gorgeous panel. Bright, poppy, all the rest. The anti-reflective layer working well. I really like the one thing that I really like, it's always been a problem on Apple products that is less of a problem this year, at least from the testing that I saw, is the additional scratch resistance. So you saw the jerry-rig everything, he was going there and it lasted up to a 7 or something until you saw some scratches. But it's really the iPhones are plagued by these micro abrasions. And you put it doesn't even matter if you put it in your pocket with your keys, just any sort of the air. You go to the beach and the sand just wafts over it and you have these micro abrasions on your iPhone. So I'm hoping that this new ceramic shield or whatever they got on here is actually something that prevents that. So that's something that's a wait and see. But overall, design, I don't really have a lot of problems with. The thing that I have a problem with, and this is why I think Apple focused on the wrong things, is iOS 26. Because to me, the visual stuff I don't understand. I see that in the iOS 26.1 beta, they're actually making the icons less clear. I know you could turn it off in accessibility settings and there's things, but my first thought was, why aren't the icons frosted? Why is it there's some sort of additional contrast? And apparently in iOS 26.1, that's what they're doing. But aesthetics aside, it's performance. I'm having the same issues that I've had for iOS in multiple years now. I do get slowdowns. I've had to do a hard reset twice in messages, just scrolling through my messages. I've had problems with that. I've had the regular kind of I had a double touch. Sometimes my inputs are not being recognized. I've had a lot of the same problems that I've had with iOS in recent memory. And it's exacerbated by I'm just using, at the same time for the comparison, I'm using Material 3 Expressive Android 16 on the Google Pixel 10 Pro XL. And if you use those devices side by side and you don't have a dog in the fight and you're being completely objective, to my mind, it's hard to argue that Google did a significantly better job with its software this year. Material 3 Expressive is throughout the entire user experience, it feels like a unified system, which is what you'd hope Apple would be. But that doesn't feel like the case. Notifications are still a mess. I don't know how Apple just can't kind of look at some other devices and say, how do we do notifications better? Because notifications are still bad. The summaries are bad, the whole thing. Apple Intelligence, nowhere to be found. I don't like Siri. Now, to Apple's credit, Siri is faster on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. So it's, whether that's an iOS 26 thing, whether that's a A19 Pro thing, I don't know. Siri is faster. I don't like the way it presents information. I don't like the fact that the entire phone glows like it's being taken over by magic. I don't need that. I love Google Gemini. I just pull it up, Gemini gives me the answer, blah, 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 and I'm going. I'm on my way. So that's something that's really, the camera app changes. I don't like what they did with the camera. It used to be so easy to just change the aspect ratio. Change the aspect ratio of the photo, the video, whatever. Now I got to go into a separate menu. I got to go up to the top, do that, pull it down. too complicated. No customization is still a mess. You change around icons on the desktop, stuff's going all over the place. I don't know why the basics are not able to be done well on Apple. That's a problem to me. Now, good news is it's not design, it's not hardware. You know, the A19 Pro, I believe the specs. Okay, I believe that that's a solid processor, solid chipset. You're going to get a lot of power out of that. That's great. But if the software experience isn't good, isn't well optimized, isn't intuitive, which are all things that you used to count on Apple doing well, then I don't care. And that's where I'm left with this device right now. So design, I like it. Give me colors, more of them. I'm a little annoyed that we didn't get the full slate of the old iPod colors. Give me the turquoise, give me the pink, give me the whatever, the green. Give me all those colors. Missed opportunity there, but really nice that we got the orange. This is a sharp looking phone, I think, okay? Different for sure for an app, but they had to do something. Sharp looking phone. Camera performance, still good. I don't like the 8X. We're going to do that next week when I have a chance to take more photos with it. Don't love the 8X. That's kind of inferred. I don't know. 4X, I think they could have left the 5 and been better off. I think that's whatever, but the photos are still good. Okay, so photos are still really good. Battery life on the 17 Pro Max, outstanding. That is one thing I'll give Apple credit. I was a little worried. Previous iOS versions sometimes would be hit or miss whether you get fantastic battery life, but I'm getting just absolutely monster battery life out of the iPhone 17 Pro Max after a few days of use. So, I do think a lot of the popularity around this device is the fact that it's just a new iPhone. And it looks different. So people who have a 14 or a 15 or a 13 or whatever are just saying, okay, well, now I can finally upgrade. It looks different. So I think that's a lot because there were lines. I was at my local Apple store. I did wait in line for this, not very long. They kept my appointment, so I was able to get it day one. But I like the feel in the hand. Do I wish that I could carry it without a case? Yeah, but I get it, right? It's aluminum. It's a metal phone. I don't know how many articles I saw saying, why don't we build metal phones anymore? And now they build a metal phone, like, oh, it scratches it. If you carry without a case, if you want to carry without a case, get the silver one. Be prepared for some patina if you're getting the other ones. Or throw a clear case on it. That's to me. What did you do with your iPad? What did you do with your iPod? That iPhone 7, that was the jet black one that they had that special thing that they did with the metal that scratched up if you breathed on it. What did you do with that? So don't worry about that stuff. But at the same time, there are concerns about this phone, and they are software related. And it's a shame because if Apple would somehow deliver the same unified experience that Google's delivered with Material 3 Expressive, we'd have a really nice phone here. We'd have a winner. But instead, I've got just kind of this mess. And it seems like Apple just and I don't even mind the aesthetic. I don't even mind the liquid glass aesthetic. Kind of reminds me of early Aqua on OS 10. Kind of got that feel to it, which is cool. Again, I wish they would frost the glass so it would make it a bit more contrast, pop a little bit better against the backgrounds. That would be nice. So the aesthetic, it's not what I have a problem with. It's the performance. So great. You cleaned up a lot of the visuals. All right, fine. You got to clean up the back end now of your software. And that's something that Apple's been lacking in these past few years. And Apple Intelligence, I don't even know where to start. When Apple takes it seriously, I'll take it seriously. How about we go with that? When Apple sits down and gives me a legitimate reason to take Apple Intelligence seriously, then we'll talk about it. Because it brings me back to that Steve Jobs interview that I mentioned a lot, where he's asked a question, and he said, when you're designing a product, even if it's a software product, you have to start with what you want the customer experience to be. What's the end goal? Where do we want the customer to be? And then you work back to the technology that you need to get there. Apple Intelligence is the complete opposite of that. It's, hey, we got this AI stuff. We're building these cloud things. We're building these large language models. How do we then make a product that's going to be good for the company? That is a recipe for disaster, for failure. And that's exactly what you've seen so far with Apple Intelligence. So, hardware good. If you're an iPhone user, if you're just going to buy an iPhone anyway, go ahead and pick it up. I think it's interesting. I think it looks cool. I actually have been liking and using it. I just wish that iOS were better. And it's spoiled me now, which is a weird thing to say. Trust me. It's a weird thing to say. Long-time Apple user, long-time user of everything. Weird to say that I'm currently preferring Google software to Apple software. But you know what? As the years go on, things get weirder, especially with technology. So that's it. That's where we are. 3 days in with the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Kind of a wait and see. I'm encouraged. But Apple's got to at least acknowledge that there are some issues. That's another thing with Apple. Like this is where Google was 3 years ago. Google was never acknowledging that there were problems. Google was just like head in the sand. Oh well, basically the Apple equivalent of you're holding it wrong with the software problems. That changed. So it could change. Things change fast. So maybe iOS 26 can come into its own here, but it certainly needs some work as it stands right now. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steelers day.